talking about our desires and our wants, we really want to paint the picture, so to speak. And you want to paint the picture from the most detailed, most finite, most, smallest all the way out and build it out from there. So the very first thing that I feel and that I resonate with when it comes to bringing things into this 3D world, starting to create this passion, this desire to accomplish something, is you have to really tune into how it makes you feel. So if you're visualizing yourself and I don't even know, you're going into a scenario where you want to take a trip. Let's just say that that's a real desire or want, and maybe your family hasn't been able to, and so you've had to readjust and you've had to replan, and it just doesn't seem to be working out. It's fascinating. I worked with a group this last weekend, and we were just talking all about how, when all of a sudden restriction or a little bit of resistance comes into our lives, that sometimes that's a positive thing, like to celebrate that, which was such a beautiful mind shift for me, because I think a lot of the time, if I'm pretty successful driven, and so when all of a sudden something that I know has worked in the past all of a sudden isn't working, or I just usually kind of barrel my way through things, when there's obstacles, I kind of like, okay, no worries, and I readjust. I've taken that as a positive. Yes, it's a positive. However, sometimes, the we call them hurdles, we call them obstacles, whatever. When obstacles start to come in your way, for, in this particular example, let's say you, either yourself, you and your partner, or you and your family wanted to go on a trip and it just hasn't been working out. It's interesting, again, when you look back at it, it's like, well, have you been really clear, and what is the feeling that you want? Is it you wanting to reconnect with your family or your partner? Is it something that you want to kind of go on your own personal journey and kind of just have some quiet time because you've had a lot of go, go, go? Are you wanting the opposite of that and wanting tons of activity and just to be out and going and going and going? Sometimes when things kind of go this way, that way, it could be because you're just needing to get a little bit clearer, a little bit more focused. Okay, that's okay. It's not going to happen right now, but we're going to keep on moving towards that desire and that want. And it ends up turning out maybe even better than it would have. So, going along with that example, when you start to bring in and really feel what it's like to, again, for this example, be on this trip, who are you going to be interacting with? What pieces do you need to be bringing? All of these things are pretty, and again, for traveling specifically, they're pretty needed. They're not a want thing. They're like a needed component of getting ready for the trip and preparing for the trip and making the hotels and da 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 da. So it's actually a really good example, because you can take that example where a lot of us just know, okay, well, in order to go on this, we need to have step by step by step by step to get there. And that's great. That's how you get there. Sometimes when we're dreaming and when we're going into our desires and wants, though, we don't take those action steps. We're just like, I want a boat. I want a whatever, fill in the blank, and truly do something. I would really love to have blah 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 blah. And then they're kind of like, I don't know how to really get it. So then it's more daydreaming. It's not really going. And in order to achieve that, I'm gonna put such, if it's like a monetary thing, then such and such amount every month into this little account, and I'm going to actively work on it. And each and every time you do, and you invest in that dream, or you invest in that desire or want, you celebrate it. And I think that's another really crucial component, is we're constructed, we're constantly programmed, or being programmed, I don't know which is which, to not celebrate the forward movements that we make. At some point we can look back and be like, oh wow, I've come a long way. And sometimes we celebrate, but a lot of the time we're just kind of like, okay, well, keep on going. And I think celebration is a part of that feel thing. When we celebrate the little steps, when we celebrate each and every component, each and every piece, and relish it, really love the process of accomplishing something. And again, I've been talking more like materialistic things, but that goes for, finding self-love. That goes for connecting with your spouse, or finding a spouse, or connecting with your family. Like these are all desires, and every single step should be celebrated.